So anyway, so you guys were trucking away. What came first? What was the first? I know Wild was a big venture for you, Miki. What came first, idea wise, as far as and what hit first?
Well, Slice was the first business. Did it hit? That's the question. But it certainly taught me and Radha. I mean, like I'll speak for myself. It taught me a lot about like just work ethic. I mean, like investment banking was one thing where you work because you had to, and then at the end I was like, I don't give a shit. But like at the restaurants, it's like this was like my business. I had to see it succeed. Mm-hmm. I was there 7 days a week, 9 a.m. to like midnight, 2 a.m. like every single night. If the delivery guy didn't show up, I did deliveries. If the dishwasher didn't show up, I did wash dishes. If the pizza man didn't show up, I'd like make pizzas. Like I never worked in a restaurant my day of my life. So it was so much accelerated learning, like just by being thrown literally in the fire, like, you know, for like pun intended, and experienced like theft and experienced managers taking advantage of me, experienced like New York City shaking me down, experience like hangry customers like saying I'm not paying, you know. It's like I'm like, hi, I'd like to take your order, and they're like, can I have a tikka masala pizza and a chana masala pizza? And I'm like, absolutely. And I'm like, okay, so it's one tikka masala, one chana masala, right? And he was like, no, I said 2 tikka masala. I can't believe you're a liar. I'm not paying. And it was like, it was like stuff like that all the time. It was like the craziest shit.
Was that your first you hear about New York, and obviously you went through investment, you got all this stuff, like both of you come in and it's the big city and you got a guy walking around guaranteeing your apartment naked, as you said. But I mean, was this your first New York? Like, oh, okay. There's New York. I see it now.
No. This is like stories that we're just throwing out. My very, very first time in New York City, and I'll shut up because I really want my sister to share stories. But it's just funny. All this stuff's coming up. Like the very first time I came to New York, I was a junior in college, and I came with my boyfriend Zach, who's actually running for mayor of New York City right now, and we were walking like down a dark alley. I don't even know why we ended up in a dark alley, but there were like these like people playing like the 3 card games, like where you like pick the card, like, and I was like, Zach, let's go play. Like we're in New York. We lost like $80 in like literally 2 minutes. Yeah. And I was like, okay, we're out of here. And it was like, they were all in cahoots and they like stole our money. And then we just like walked away. And I was like, wow, this is New York City.
Opens up, right? Yeah.
Well, I know, but like, it also is a dream maker, you know, like I feel like we found our loves, we launched our businesses, we built success, you know, like on the heels of all of that insanity. Like I think that you get into a groove and either you stick it out and you see it through. And I think that's also a lesson of COVID right now, of like people, the mass exodus of like, you know, kind of New York City's elite leaving New York in its time of need. Like on one hand, you understand that if you have the means to be able to like go somewhere and like take care of your family, like that's super important. And also to abandon the city that gave you your wealth, that gave you your start, that gave you your, you know, your whole entire life. You know, I have such an extraordinary loyalty to this city, and I'm never leaving. And Miki and I both bought houses here eventually. I have a house in Greenpoint, Brooklyn. Miki has a house in Williamsburg, Brooklyn. And, you know, and I doubled down during COVID. I just was like, this is somewhere I really want to see through. And it really feels like right now New York is having a resurgence. It's like a renaissance, like what I call like a punk summer, where there's like no tourists. It's just artists and just creatives. It's just us. Museums are like, I went to the museum recently, the Met, and I was like crying as I was like dancing my way through like some of the most incredible world famous art, you know, almost alone, you know, in the museum, like crying tears of joy of just like, wow, New York, like even when we're knocked down, like you still can deliver so much beauty and so much creativity and so much inspiration. And yeah, I'm here to stay. So
I love that city a lot. I haven't been there very much, but anytime I've been there has been something. I had one of my most the most iconic moments of my career there, hitting Madison Square Garden, and you guys were there for that, which I never forget. That was a great moment for me personally, just career wise. And then to have you guys make the time to come down was awesome.
Oh my God. I mean, one thing I will say about New York is that people say it's like one of the most expensive cities in the world. And it's like, Radha and I, like, I love finding specials, when Radha and I were in Brooklyn and we were still like paying off student loans and just still like starting to save money and all of that. Like, we on Tuesday nights, we would have a date night, just me and her, and we would have dinner at Joya, and it was like $7 for a gigantic chicken pad thai plus 10. Sorry?
They're still around, by the way. They're still amazing.
It's amazing. Joya is the best. And so like $7 plus we would give like a $3 tip because I was like, we're like, whoa, big tip, Yeah. And then so it would be like a $10 dinner, like Ron and I would have like glasses of water and like a big chicken pad thai that we would split. So it was like $5 each for dinner. And we sat there for like 2 hours, like telling stories and like having a great time. And it was like a really nice candlelit restaurant, And then we would go to this place called Cobble Hill Cinemas. They would play like blockbuster brand new films. And they were like $5 Tuesday nights. And so like we would have dinner and movie like all night every Tuesday night for $10 each. And so it's like it's such a place that you can build, create, but it doesn't have to be so daunting where you're like, oh, you need a ton of money to move to New York. Like you don't if you really do it like the local way.
Thanks for stopping by, friends, to the Brenton On Tour podcast channel on YouTube. Coffee, music, travel, life, all of those things. One page, lots of guests, lots of chatter. We talk about all of it. If you like it, subscribe, hit the thumbs up button, leave a comment. I'll get back to you. Thanks, friends. See you next time.